Thanks. All right.
Hey,
Well,
Jana.
thank you so much. Hi. Yeah, thank you so much for taking time to chat with me today. So let's see. I don't even know where to begin. So many things to talk about. But this is such a fun show. I love that we've kind of kept the, basic franchise elements of Transformers, but brought in the messages of diversity and inclusion. Talk a lot about, what it really means to be a family. Ant and Dale, can you guys talk a little bit more about that and those decisions that were made to kind of bring this into like a kids programming and that type of thing?
Yeah.
Go for it. Yeah, take it away.
It was very important for Ant and I to maintain the core pillars of the Transformers franchise in any version of a new show that we were going to produce. And so knowing that that was going to be for Nickelodeon, we leaned on to touchstones that mean so much to us to this day that we saw when we were kids. Films like E.T., The Iron Giant, Goonies, these either found families and groups of friends or just kids on this tremendous adventure who find something out of this world, sometimes quite literally, and bring them home and introduce them into their family and become this kind of found family unit and enjoy adventures, misadventures, and all the like.
As we were going into this, Transformers as a franchise is such a wealth of history, and so much of that has been covering this eons-long war between the Decepticons and the Autobots. So we really wanted to take a little bit more of a personal approach in the storytelling, and what would these iconic characters who are featured on the show be doing, if the war was over, and how can they chaperone and welcome and be role models for an entirely new generation of Earthborn bots. So it was a really fun, like family first kind of adventure we embarked on.
I love that. And Sydney, I mean, if we're talking, kind of role models and whatnot, your character voicing Robbie, super like great big brother. Can you talk a little bit about that role and what it means to you?
Oh, it's so fun. Zion is like my little sister in real life, so to be able to portray that on screen is just so fun. Robbie has its ups and downs, definitely has his, teenage moments, but I think ultimately he realizes that family is at the core of everything and really puts family first, and that's what makes this series and the show just so great.
Do you have any favorite moments between Robbie and his sister, or just, portraying Robbie as a whole?
Well, I think, we've got the classic when they're like yelling on the bridge and we're like, what's going on with their relationship? Like, very first episode. And then they fall and you realize like, whoa, like they're right back connected. So I think it's really sweet. Like they have these yelling moments, whatever, but they always come back to love and to being, this togetherness, which I really love.
Awesome. So Ant and Dale, because the Transformer franchise is so vast and so long. I mean, I remember watching Transformers as a child, so we won't date me, at that point. But there are obviously some Easter eggs in this show. Do you have any favorite Easter eggs that you want to share with the audience?
Yes. We get odd opportunities sometimes to insert our own like silly like fan things in there, and when we were doing the comic books in the first episode, I absolutely insisted with our prop designer Jack Rossi that we feature Seabreeze as one of our
Sea Spray
as one of our bots, because I just love his awkwardness, his just funness. He's one of the lesser known Autobots who transforms into a hoverboat. So it's fun.
Yeah. I'll say in the pilot episode when we needed to do a big exposition dump of the history of what got all of us and the Earth and the Autobots to this place where they are at the beginning of this show. We had tremendous fun paying homage to the G1 cartoon and animated series with that flashback that was brilliantly done in 2D animation in our CG show, and then there's other things throughout the series that won't necessarily be on this DVD we're here to talk about today, because I think that's 101 through 110. But throughout the series, there's plenty more, and some you really have to listen for, is what I'll say.
Oh, listening Easter eggs. We love that.
Do you think the cassette box being cassettes classifies as an Easter egg? Because it's such a weird, odd, fun moment when Robbie realized he just doesn't even know what a cassette is, and he's sitting next to a 4-foot high cassette, which is also odd.
Yeah.
So, Sydney, you have a vast biography of works up to this point already, and you're so young. Do you have a preference for doing voice work versus live acting?
Oh, this is a great question. Not necessarily. I think both have their pros and cons, but obviously why I love voice acting is it's way more fun. You know, I would never actually be able to probably meet a Transformer in real life. So to meet, to be able to do that through voiceover and to voice someone that really doesn't look like me, you know what I mean? It's so fun. So I get to explore a lot more facets of my acting through voiceover work, which is really fun. So I enjoy both, and they're really, really exciting to do.
If you could be any character besides Robbie in the Transformers universe, who would you pick?
Ooh, probably Jazz, I would say. I think, I had him, or I had that Transformers robot on my shirt in the New York Transformers Comic Con, which was pretty cool. It's a great find. I thrifted it, so that was so cool. I love when I find cool thrift finds, but I found it and kind of like upcycled it with my friends, so it was very awesome, I will say. But Bumblebee also very classic, so tough choice.
Fair. So, Ant and Dale, if you could bring in a character from some other property that you've worked on in the past into the Transformers universe, who would you pick and why?
Oh, that's a really fun question. I have a thought, but Ant, if it's on the tip of your tongue, go for it, friend.
I would bring in Donatello from TMNT, because I think he'd both be excited and very confused and somewhat at odds with Cybertronian existence on a whole.
That's a great answer. You took the words right out of my mouth. I would have chosen Donatello, but to give a different answer for the sake of the question, I'll say Master Splinter, because I would love to see Master Splinter and Alex and Dot co-parent Aaron's and the Malto kids. I think that would be a tremendous sequence.
Is he living in the bar?
He could, yeah, in the rafters for sure.
Yeah, that would be quite a scene.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it. Love the series. Can't wait to see the next, 10 or 20 or 400 episodes. So thank you.
Thank you, Jana.
Thank you very much.